Hello everyone, I'm Commander Exorcist, and welcome to LucasArts The Dig. This is, by far, my favorite game of all time. I'm not going to talk much during the intro, so let's sit back and enjoy one of the greatest cinematic openings in gaming history.
Of course I miss you, darling. This is the loneliest place on Earth. Most exciting thing ever happens here is the day when it don't rain. Excuse me, darling, I got some work to do. What the heck is that? Get on in here, Pete. We got us a big old asteroid on a 3-week collision course with Earth.
The asteroid has been named Attila, after the war leader of the Huns, who devastated Europe just before the fall of the Roman Empire. Attila was first spotted in a tracking station in Borneo. According to NASA sources, the probability of impact with Earth is 99%.
5, 4, ignition, 2, 1.
The shuttle is up and away. This is not a mission the shuttle was designed for, but as Mission Commander Boston Lowe said in the press conference last night,
if the shuttle is the last hope of the human race, then it'll have to do the job, won't it? Wait a minute, folks. Let me introduce the landing team. Ludger Brink is a noted geologist. He'll evaluate our data on placement of the nuclear devices.
We have to be accurate. The idea isn't to blow Attila to bits. If we did, some of the pieces would certainly hit Earth with devastating effect.
And now I hardly have to introduce Maggie Robbins to you. She's probably the most well-known journalist in the world.
Maggie, you're famous for having once said that you never put up with censorship in any form. Now you're under NASA command.
Miss Robbins is a reporter by vocation, but on this mission she's...
I think I can answer the question myself, Commander Lowe. Danny, I trained for this mission, and I have work to do in laying the nuclear charges. When I come home, I'll be a reporter and tell you all about it. But during the mission, I'm part of the team, and I will obey Commander Lowe like any good soldier.
That may be the biggest news story of all. Maggie Robbins obeys orders.
In going over your bios, I find that Professor Brink is also a noted archaeologist, while it's well known that Maggie is a prodigy at learning new languages. Is this just coincidence?
Not at all. We wanted the best and the brightest for this mission. Dr. Brink and Ms. Robbins are not narrow specialists. They are resourceful, widely educated, and creative thinkers.
Does that apply to you too, Commander Lowe?
My job is to keep everybody alive. I don't have to be bright, I just have to be careful. The other 2 crew members will remain with the shuttle. Ken Borden is the most experienced shuttle pilot we have. Cora Miles is our payload specialist. As you all know, she's a candidate for Congress, but we figured saving the planet is more important than campaigning.
It's cheaper, too.
Any parting message for the people of Earth?
We have exactly 1 chance, and we've got to do it right. Let all your prayers be with us.
And some 30 years later, that statement and this scene with the space shuttle still gives me chills. And here we go. As I play through, I'm going to be commenting, talking a little bit about what it was like to play this game the first time when it came out in the mid-90s. This game came out at the height of some asteroid scares, some people afraid of the world being destroyed by giant comets and meteors. So this was fitting for the time.
Low here. Come on out, kids. The water's fine.
Robin's here. Going independent.
Welcome to the wonderful world of space. Don't bump into anything.
I'll be careful, Commander.
Brink here, going independent.
Howdy, Brink. Welcome to the place where geology and astronomy meet.
A professor once told me, astronomers are geologists with clean hands and a squint.
You going to quote him on that in some magazine, Robbins?
I'm just part of the landing team right now, Commander Lowe.
And so the game begins. And these are our characters. These are our protagonists. We've got Boston Lowe, Maggie Robbins, and Lutger Brink. Archaeologist, reporter with a specialty in learning languages, which, strangely enough, is going to come in handy. And Boston Lowe. He is our space cowboy. And this game got a little bit of criticism when it came out for the kind of stereotypical approach to the writing for the individual characters, but I love it because it's really, if you've ever served with anyone in a capacity that like this, these are pretty typical people, and they're very realistic in the way that they interact with each other, as we're going to see. So at this point, we are here on the space shuttle, and we've got an asteroid that we need to deal with. But what do we do? So we've got a couple of options here, and the main focus for this part is going to be taking the pig, the free fall tool chest, which is also called the flying pig, down to the surface of the asteroid and placing the nuclear charges onto Attila so that we can divert it away from the Earth so that it doesn't crash into the planet and kill life as we know it. So, playing this game for the first time as a young kid, and it was amazing. The music's great. The atmosphere is fantastic. I always wanted to be an astronaut, so this was just an amazing experience. But it is a LucasArts point-and-click adventure, so you can't just click on things and expect them to work. As we play this game, from beginning to end, we're going to see that you often have to click on things in a certain sequence. There are ways to right-click and explore the game. You'll see different things. We can talk or we can discuss certain items. So if I right-click on Maggie and then pick the key, in theory, it should discuss with Maggie something related to that object. If there's nothing in the game programmed for that, Boston will say something like, it won't do anything, or I can't use those two things together, as you will hear a lot in this game. So let's go ahead and pull up our penultimate, which is a really awesome Palm Pilot type device. And you can play a lunar lander game, the Asteroid Lander, which is a fully functional lunar lander game. But we're going to call, we need Cora. So Cora is going to help us to deploy the freefall tool chest, the pig.
Load a payload, over.
Yeah, Boston, I'm on you.
You wish.
In your dreams.
All right, so we want Cora to release
Ready
the
for
pig.
the deployment of the free fall tool chest.
Is the crew clear of the area?
Crew is clear. Proceed.
There are quite a few cinematics like that sprinkled throughout the game.
Everything fine with the pig, Cora?
being sweet, Boston. You just be good to my baby.
Okay. So, like I said, there's cinematics like that, cutscenes spread throughout the game, which add quite a bit of flavor to them. So it's really neat. And so now we need to take... There's a lot of dialogue, so if you wanted to, you could sit here and have conversations with these guys and get to know them a little bit. In this case, there's really no benefit to a lot of that. We're going to find out a lot about them as we progress, as the story progresses. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take the flying pig down to the asteroid.
Load a landing team. I'm taking the pig down to the surface. Follow me.
You be good to my baby, Boston, you hear me?
We'll be back soon, Cora. Try not to miss me too much. Blow out.
Welcome to the surface of Attila, ladies and gentlemen. So we will make it through the first part of this section of the game in just a few minutes. But, you know, at the time this game was released, this whole space section took many, many hours to figure out, especially the correct sequence, because you have to go over here and open the pig, and you have all these tools. So we're going to take the explosive units and we're going to drop it in our inventory. And this is how we're going to be doing a lot of things in the game. Pick up the item, drop it in our inventory. We have a 0G digger, which is going to help us to clear away different things on the surface of the asteroid. And then we have a shovel. You can't have a game called The Dig without a shovel. So now we need to go back out to space, where we get a whole view of the asteroid. And we are going to place our nuclear devices. So the game does not change the location of the nukes. So we're going to place one in Quadrant 2 and Quadrant 3. So let's start with Quadrant 2. And we've got a target surface. Now, if we were to try... So we got to use the 0G digger on the target surface.
Let's see if we can clear up old Attila's complexion. Nice and smooth now.
And I think it's beta. Let's give it a try. If we're wrong, we'll
Placing
know.
charge 2 on target site.
Negative, boss.
Yeah, we got it wrong.
It's alpha charge that goes there in Quadrant 2.
I hear you, kid. I hear you. We rehearsed this thing 100 times and I still managed to blow it.
That's why you still need us up here, Hero Man.
That would have been a catastrophic error, Commander Lowe.
I noticed you didn't catch the mistake either, Brink.
I didn't think I had to check up on the commander of the mission.
Ooh.
Everybody checks on everybody, Brink. But don't worry, I'm sure Robbins will write a whole article on my bonehead mistake.
It's our mistake. I didn't notice it either, Commander. And it was caught in time. That means the system worked.
Thanks, Robbins.
So you notice that tension between Brink and Boston?
Shuttle, this is Lowe. We're placing the explosive in Quadrant 2.
Acknowledged.
Could you give me a hand with this, Brink?
I'll be right there, Commander Lowe.
These are some pretty complex characters.
Excellent work, Brink. Ken, the charge is set.
Instruments confirmed. Hey, I'm just so proud of you boys.
And, you know, they are complex characters. And they're not just simple, hey, I'm a spaceman. You know, hey, I'm an archaeologist. There's much more to them. And we're going to find that out as time goes on. So once the charge is laid on the asteroid surface, you have to take the arming key and go back and arm the explosive.
Look at the pretty red light, boys and
I
girls.
love that. Look at the pretty red light, boys and girls.
I'd say this charge is armed.
It's the humor for me. I love the humor, especially Boston's dry dad joke humor. You can tell that he doesn't like reporters, but he still gets along with Maggie, and he's not a big fan of Brink, but he realizes the implications of the mission that he's been charged with, and so it's just really neat to hear, his jokes and how they fall flat, but he still keeps on. So this is one of the moments in the game where the first time I played this, after it first came out, seriously, right after it first came out, this is one of those moments where you kind of struggle for a little bit trying to figure out which quadrant to set the second charge, but also how to the correct sequence to do this part. So you've got a boulder here. Well, we had a target surface before. Now we have a boulder. Well, what do? Let's do the 0G digger.
Guess what, boys and girls? Using the 0G digger on this boulder is gonna work just as well as trying to move a sand dune with a teaspoon. We better think of something else.
Better find out what Mission Control suggests.
Mission Control? I'm not calling Houston until I'm sure there's nothing we can do. Just think for a minute.
So we think for a minute, and then we realize that that's where the shovel comes in to do. So this is
Cora, Ken, I'm jamming the
happens.
shovel in under the boulder, then using maximum down thrust to pry it up. Does that sound workable?
Well, I'm a little short on data about the tensile strength of shovel handles in 0G under maximum thrust conditions. In other words, who knows? Might work.
Boss, be careful. If the handle breaks, maximum down thrust will smash you right into Attila. You know the saying, whether the stone hits the glass or the glass hits the stone, it ain't gonna hurt the stone.
Thanks for the encouragement, Ken. Frank, if this actually works, the boulder's going to come flying straight at you. Better fly clear.
Thanks for the warning.
And the boulder is free.
Looks like it worked.
Now, aren't you glad I made sure the tool chest had a shovel in it? My rule is, if you can pick it up, take it with you, because you never know when you might need it.
Good advice.
I have the same rule, Cora, but I thought it only applied to women in bars. If you can pick her up.
Careful, Ken. You don't want to find yourself getting quoted as a sexist pig in Maggie's article.
I'm not here to spy on you.
Lighten up, Robbins. They're just teasing you. If they thought you were really a spy, they'd never talk freely on the open frequency.
That's the truth. In a situation like this, if you believe somebody is there to undermine you, you're not going to let them in. But Ken and Cora seem like good people. So now the surface is clear, and we will place the second charge on the surface.
Shuttle, this is low. Now placing the explosive on the face of the asteroid in Quadrant 3.
Acknowledged.
I need another hand here, Brink.
Of course, Commander.
Thanks for your help, Brink. We're about to give Attila a pair of landing lights. So we take the arming key, and we're going to arm it.
This asteroid has a pair of landing lights now, kids. Stick a fork in us, we're done.
Who writes your material, Commander?
I get it all out of the newspapers, Robbins.
So Cora made a comment where she said, if you can pick it up, take it with you. That's really kind of a gameplay hint for what's to come. So the general rule for these LucasArts point-and-click games is if you can pick it up, it's there for a reason, for you to pick it up. So if you can pick it up, take it with you. You might need it later.
Let's head back to the shuttle and watch Attila do the old fire dance.
So that took us just a few minutes, but in playing this game originally, it would have taken a while, but we are ready. So we're going to go back to our inventory. We're going to pull up our penultimate, and this time we're going to call Ken because he is our payload specialist.
Borden? Come in, Borden.
I'm here, boss.
We need Ken to
Both nukes are in place and armed.
detonate the
We
nukes.
made pretty good time, I think.
Looks good, boss. Come on back inside for the fireworks.
Confirm everybody inside.
All in, Cora.
All clear payload.
All clear, landing team.
All clear, shuttle.
Confirm doors closed.
Doors closed.
The explosives armed. Houston gives us the go-ahead. Say when, boss.
Do it. Now let's see, is it the big green triangle or the little red circle?
Shut up and push, Ken. My baby's getting impatient.
Here we go.
Just shut up and push the button, Ken. Let's do it.
We have detonation, Alpha and Beta.
What are the instruments showing?
Nothing big coming our way.
What's the pig telling us, Cora?
Attila's still in one piece. There's a lot of seismic bounce, some fracturing. We're stable again. Radioactivity in Quadrant 1 is well within the safe range.
What does Houston say, Ken?
Everything's go for a surface walk at your option.
Then let's go, landing team. Let's see what Attila looks like after plastic surgery.
We didn't even need Ben Affleck or Bruce Willis to do
Be
it.
careful, kids. Attila is more dangerous now than before we tamed him.
Those were certainly profound first words to speak on Earth's new moon.
I'm not making speeches, Robbins. I'm concerned about keeping everybody alive.
Commander, I can collect rock samples later. Right now, I would like to get below the surface down into that tunnel.
We're gonna do it eventually. We might as well do it now. You agree, Robbins?
I'm game for it.
I've called the pig. We'll send it on ahead to light the way.
Remember, any rock may be loose, and any wall may collapse at any time.
Please be careful, everyone. Cora, send down the pig, please. We'll need the light.
The artwork and the music and the style of this game is just mesmerizing. Like that scene right there is just, it's perfection. The contrast between the cold of space and the warmer interior of the asteroid. Now that we're learning a little bit more about Attila, she may not be everything we thought she was.
You see anything unusual, Brink?
It's hard to determine how this tunnel was formed.
It wasn't created by the explosion?
No, it's very ancient. The explosions opened the door, but this tunnel, old but not as old as the asteroid.
What does that mean?
I don't know yet. It just feels unnatural. There are some odd projections near the bottom of this tunnel that don't seem to belong here.
Okay, so the odd projections. This is a puzzle, and it's one of the first real puzzles that you face in the game. There are several odd projections. There's an odd projection here, but over here you've got a metallic plate. So let's take a look at the odd projection. See what he says.
I think you're right, Brink. The stone projection isn't natural.
Yes, but what is it doing here?
So we now believe that the asteroid isn't natural, or that the interior part is not natural. So something is going on here. So let's check out the metallic plate.
Look at this, Brink. This can't be natural.
Definitely not. A metal plate. Definitely an artifact.
An artifact? But who could have put something like this in a tunnel?
Yes, I think it's clear. Wherever Attila came from, there was someone there.
Could this be part of some kind of message? Like the one NASA put in Voyager?
If it's a message, I don't understand it.
Whatever it is, we've got to tell Houston immediately.
Negative, Robbins. I'm clamping down total security as of this moment.
You've got to be kidding.
You've been telling me all along you just want to be an ordinary member of the mission. I've had secret orders all along to look for any sign of alien presence on this rock. And now that we've found it, my instructions are clear. What I want to hear from both of you right now is, I understand, Commander Lowe.
I understand and agree, Commander Lowe. There is nothing to be gained from a premature announcement.
Robbins.
I understand, Commander Lowe.
Ken, Lowe here.
I read you, boss.
Tell Houston that I said Attila's a real Hun.
What? Is that some kind of joke?
Just tell them, Gordon. You'll receive new communication protocols immediately afterward.
Oh, cool. This is like a secret code.
Just thank Cora. You're the only one in Congress who knows anything about this.
Houston says the message is received and they're transmitting new codes.
We're getting back to work down here, kid. Blow out. I'm giving this baby a little push.
If that doesn't work, Commander, give it a big push.
The plate
Uh-oh.
just dropped down.
It's gone.
Beside something.
The plate is gone?
So, I think it's funny, the comment from Ken, ooh, this is like a secret code. He's the nuclear payload specialist. So, I mean, he should be used to secret codes. So, it's just kind of funny. So, at this point, we can move around a little bit, take a look in the cavern. It goes down even more. There's odd projections here and there. But we notice that the plate has disappeared a little bit.
It's a small, dark opening.
So there's not much else we can do. But if we take our zero-G digger that we used to clear off the surface of Attila for the nuclear warhead, and watch this.
I may be criticized for it later, but I'm gonna dig out one of these odd projections.
It's your decision, Commander.
It's another plate.
I'm going to push another one.
I wish we could be sure we weren't destroying whatever message they meant us to receive.
It seems to me that if they didn't mean us to push these metal plates, we wouldn't be able to push them.
And that's a good point. That's, in a way, some of these first parts of the game are almost a tutorial. Because, you know, if I couldn't do these things, like dig into the side of the asteroid, and then push the plates down into the shafts, then you wouldn't be able to do it.
It's another metal plate.
I wish there was some sort of inscription.
So we're going to push this one too.
Here's number 3.
It disappeared too.
And then the final one down here. This is the big one.
We're 3 for 3 here, folks.
I've heard of putting a message in a bottle, but never in a big rock.
Okay, we're going to push this one as well. And this should be the final one.
Here's the last one.
Well, we've done it. Whatever it is we did.
And now we are going to proceed on to the next chamber.
Well, here goes nothing.
We're with you, Commander. So, the asteroid is hollow.
Time to update Houston. Load a shuttle. Static. Must be all this rock.
We're cut off. Should we go back outside and call them?
Nah, they can sit tight for a few more minutes while we poke around.
It's perfect. It's like the people who designed this asteroid, this message, knew who was coming. Because there are some people that would have backed out, called the shuttle, let them know what was going on. But we've got a vent here we could explore, and we could go back out to the tunnel. And it really just takes you back out to where we solved the odd projection puzzle. But let's take a trip down here to the pedestal. This is where we're going to find that the small metallic plates that we pushed down the shafts fell into this chamber and are now laying on the ground. And it's not really much of a puzzle because the pieces pretty much place themselves, so you could just kind of click over them. And once they do, the mission to the asteroid effectively ends, and we enter into the main phase of the game, the true dig. And here we go.
What's happening?
Unmoving!
That is so cool. So the asteroid has decided it doesn't want to be in Earth orbit. This sequence right here was created by Industrial Light and Magic. It's the only sequence of the game created by them, but boy, it was advertised. I wanted to visit this world so badly as a kid. It's gorgeous.
I feel like someone turned me inside out twice.
It's a little difficult to move now.
That's because we've got gravity. Planet-type gravity. We're not inside the asteroid anymore. And the pressure is equalized. There's an atmosphere.
Can we breathe it?
Our suits are checking that automatically. Here we are. Yes, it's at least as breathable as the air in LA. Of course, there's always the danger of airborne infectious agents.
I don't think so. Alien microbes should be no threat to us. They have not evolved to make use of our cell structures.
It's an interesting theory.
The oxygen in our suits won't last long anyway. I say we take them off and save the remaining oxygen for the return trip.
If there is a return trip.
The air tastes good.
Surprise, surprise. Attila was a spaceship all along.
A starship, faster than light. We're not in our own solar system. No planet but Earth has an atmosphere like this, and this ain't Earth.
After so many years of bad TV shows and crackpots with phony pictures, here is the real proof. There is alien life.
Load a cockpit, over. Load a payload, over. Yeah, I'd say we're out of range. Way out of range.
Way out of range.
I don't see any aliens coming to greet us.
For all we know, it might have been 1,000,000 years since these people sent out Attila, and they long since died out.
I don't know about you, but I didn't pack a lunch.
Or a can of pop.
Well, we might as well look around and learn what we can about this place. We might be here a while.
Okay, so here we are on the surface of an alien world with Commander Lowe, Brink, and Robbins. And that effectively concludes the mission to the asteroid, the first part of the dig. And we're going to stop the video here, and we will pick up with the next part where we begin to explore the surface of this world, discover some of its secrets, but also discover a little bit about our characters and their backgrounds. And some of their interactions with each other started off rocky, and who knows, will they get better or will it continue to deteriorate? Because in an environment like this, anything can happen. So it's at this point that the real story of the dig begins. We are trapped on an alien world, and we got to get out of here. Well, that's part of it. Fortunately, this game doesn't have any survival mechanics, so we don't have to worry about food or hydration. But we've got a mystery to solve. Who sent Attila? Why did they send it? And where did it bring us? Now, this planet is, although it's not directly referenced in the game itself, in some of the supporting documentation and in the novel that accompanied the game's release by Alan Dean Foster, the planet is called Cocytus. So, in general, I'm probably going to be referring to it as Cocytus because that's really what it's come to be known as over the years. So here we are, and let's see what mysteries await us in the clearing. But very quickly, you're going to see some of the character dynamics start to emerge.
Where are you going, Lo?
I was gonna check for water, or some way out of here.
I think we should remain together.
Fine. Follow me.
This is no longer a space expedition, Lo. This is an archaeological dig.
Title drop.
Therefore, I am the obvious leader.
Fine. Whenever we need to dig something up, you can use the shovel.
Ooh, I love it.
In the meantime, our first business is to survive. Our second task is to get home. We need to work together, and I'm still the commander of this mission.
You don't know any more about surviving on an alien world than I do.
Boston is right, Ludger. He's the one with experience in survival, and we need someone in command. This is no time for a foolish power struggle.
All right, I agree. For now.
He thinks that Brink is going to be a little bit of trouble. So let's start over here.
Fantastic! Look!
More proof of alien life.
Do you think there's anyone, or anything, alive?
It seems someone had to have been here.
Let's hope they're peaceful, or gone.
I mean, more proof of alien life, as in the giant geometrical structures and the alien craft that brought you here isn't enough? So we're going to go inside the wreck.
Can you tell anything about what these people look like from the interior of their ship?
All this rust. Corrosion. Perhaps animals have moved things around. Hard to know what we're looking at. Let me look. Try not to disturb anything.
Can't do anything. Okay, so Brink has done his work.
Brink. Never mind.
Yeah, never mind. So let's take the wire.
We might need this wire later. I'm gonna see if I can pull it down.
First, shouldn't you turn the power off at the breaker box?
What?
That was a joke, Lo.
Oh, yeah. Ha. Huh. Stand back in case something comes down on our heads.
Oh, something's coming down, all right.
Look at it. It's beautiful.
Changing shapes, mathematical progressions of ever more complex polyhedrons.
Next time I suggest pulling a wire.
No, I'm glad you did. What could that have been?
Not a random electrical discharge.
Maybe it's a kind of computer display. Maybe to the aliens who piloted this ship it conveyed some meaningful information. But to me, it means absolutely nothing.
That's a little harsh. I don't think that line's really consistent with who he is, but we'll go with it. So now we're going to pick up the wire.
It still might be useful.
Put that in there. But also, if you'll notice, something came out of the ghost.
Did any of you see? Was this here before that thing appeared?
Of course it was. Do you think an electrical field can carry a solid object?
And so let's take a moment and look at the rod that we just picked up.
It's a rod, engraved, 5 geometric shapes.
5 geometric shapes. And so there's nothing else left for us to do here. As cool as it is, not much to do inside the wreck. So we've gathered the wire and the first rod. I mean the rod. Don't want to give away that maybe there's more of them. So we're going to head back toward the clearing to the platform in the center. I'm going to visit some of the other locations. So we got 2 other locations. Let's go to the far right here.
Do you think we could climb this slope?
No use. It doesn't go up all the way to the top.
The engravings on this wall, are they writing or decoration?
You're asking us?
Maybe they're a combination of both. So, let's see here. I think if I remember... So I thought... Can we go any further? Nope.
Brink. Never mind.
Yeah, never mind, Brink. So maybe I went the wrong way. Because one of these has a... Let's try this one up here. That's the dirt ramp. Okay, so this is the grave. So there's one of these where they're graves.
Not
Here
just
they are.
plants, but creatures too. I'm not an archaeologist, but these look like bones to me.
But they are not lying where the animal died. They were placed here. Markers.
A grave?
Best guess.
And now a home for those rat-like things.
Rat graves. So now we're going to take the shovel and dig up a grave. So our dig has officially turned into grave robbing.
What? Are you just going to dig right in? With a shovel? You will destroy the site.
I'm not doing archaeology right now, Brink. I'm looking for something to help get us home.
Your name will live forever. As the bone-headed space hero who destroyed precious data at the first alien archaeological site.
That's better than having my name live forever. As a commander of an expedition that disappeared and was never heard from again. Now get out of the way if you aren't going to help, Brink. This might take a while.
Yeah. As you can tell, Boston and Brink are not going to get along through a good portion of this game.
What a fine accomplishment, Commander. Now we have a pile of meaningless dirt and bones.
Maybe not. You never know when an alien bone will prove useful.
That's true. And by the way, because it might prove useful, let's check them out.
This is light, but it feels as strong as steel.
That could be beneficial. We've also got a jawbone.
What do you think? Was this the skull of a sentient being? Or a pet? Or a beast of burden?
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure it's dead.
It's a strange-shaped jawbone. The teeth still look strong.
And I think that's all. Yeah, that's all for that one. So let's go back to the clearing. And now we're going to head up to the dirt ramp. Oh, so let's go back to the wreck. That was one of the features of these games is when you're trying to figure them out for the first time or you played it for the first time, there's a lot of backtracking. Exploring different sections, getting to know them, enjoying the artwork and the atmosphere, but also trying to figure out what it is that you need. And I forgot that there is a piece that we... Yes, we need to get out of the chest here.
Well, I don't see any treasure, but there is something in here.
So we're going to take this device.
When we get back, the engineers are going to have a field day trying to figure out how this worked.
So we should have grabbed that from the chest. Now, because we need that to activate the puzzle at the dirt ramp. So we're going to go back. Back to the clearing one more time. So we're going to go over to the dirt ramp. There is no fast travel in the dig. We have to walk there. So now we should be able to use that device.
It seems to be pointing at this mound.
And so once again, we're going to pull out the shovel.
With that device pointing at this mound, I suspect there might be something buried here.
How scientific of you, Commander.
Poor Brink. I think he's just upset because he's not in charge. And it really is an archaeological dig, but there's also a survival element to
Another
it. Another
random hole bulldozed by our fearless leader.
Maybe not. I thought I saw something shining. An artifact.
You mean the giant gold artifact right there? A bracelet.
It looks like a bracelet.
So I'll put that away for now. And let's go back now so that we've taken care of that. So we're going to go back to the main platform where we landed. It's like it was pointing to
I think
something.
we can safely say this is not a natural weather phenomenon.
How about a mirage? Anyone voting for it being a mirage?
It knew we were here. It was trying to tell us something. Or show us something.
Don't be too quick to anthropomorphize.
How do we know what life looks like here?
It might be alive. Or it might be some kind of automatic guidance system. We triggered it in that ruined ship and now it's leading us.
You mean this is the last gasp of a holographic tour guide?
Or the Port Authority. Maybe it's telling us we're under arrest. Come quietly or self-aiming lasers will toast us to cinders in 15 seconds.
Stop it. Maybe you can think that's funny, but the last thing I need is some mischievous boy trying to give me the creeps.
If I wanted to give you the creeps, I'd tell you that it was the ghost of a long-dead alien.
How do you know it isn't a ghost?
What? You think this is where aliens end up when they die? If it is, then this place better be hell, because it sure isn't my idea of heaven.
Now you're starting to give me the creeps.
Oh, come on, Brink. It's not that bad. It's pretty. It's purple. Okay. So now the ghost obviously led us here. So the best thing to do is to start digging. But we're going to let Brink do the work, because he's had years of training using a shovel.
I'm going to see if I can enlarge the hole. Maybe there's something under here.
Yeah, maybe something lives down in that hole.
The utterances of experts.
The ground is soft here, loose. I think this used to be an opening, and over the years, wind has filled it up with sand and dirt.
Here, let me see. Yes, that's right. You're probably right.
That means the ground is treacherous. It could be hollow under there.
Commander, I think it's time for an archaeologist to do the digging. I'm used to dealing with drifted soil.
The shovel is yours, Brink. Just be careful. The ground's pretty unstable. My feet kept sinking.
My whole training is to be careful, not to charge in with guns blazing. Finally, a good use for my extensive training.
No! It's completely...
I can't!
No!
Brink! I couldn't get to him in time. I couldn't.
This was
It
a
happened
surprise.
too fast.
This was a real shocker.
Can we get down there?
when it happened?
How long a drop is it?
Looks like the rubble has formed a ramp. Follow me. Here he is. He's not moving.
Brink. Boston. He's dead.
He's dead. I couldn't believe it.
I should have been the one digging.
Then you'd be the dead one.
It was my responsibility to.
Brink and I are not children or trained monkeys. We're responsible adults. It could have been any of us, and there's not a thing you could have done to prevent it.
But to lose Brink, and we've only been up here.
Look, you can't keep me safe, and I can't keep you safe. So there's no particular reason for us to stay together. Our odds of getting back to Earth are better if we work separately on figuring this place out.
I don't like the idea of splitting up.
Why? Because we're safer together? Ask Brink about that.
Because maybe I won't know what I'm seeing without you to help me understand it.
If you find something interesting, the communicators still work. Till then, adios, ciao, sayonara, auf Wiedersehen.
Maggie, it's against every rule of military action for an officer to be separated from his command.
Boston, this isn't a military action. And you don't have a command. There's just you and me, and we both know exactly the same amount about this situation, which is to say, nada, nothing, zip. If we suddenly find ourselves facing an army, then you're in command again. Until then, adios, ciao, sayonara, auf Wiedersehen.
Nobody likes you when you smart off like that.
Yeah, all my psychological tests as a kid said that I didn't work well with others.
So this is what failure feels like.
So Boston picks up the shovel again, and we are in a cave with the dead body of Brink. And this was a huge shock when this happened, because they had built up kind of this conflict between the two, and to see it kind of end like this so abruptly was really something. And Maggie's attitude and her departure was really abrupt, because she had been a really big team player up until that point, but she needed to go away because this is the moment where the game really takes off and you start playing as Boston. So from now on, with some rare exceptions, we're going to be playing exclusively as Commander Lowe. And so yeah, Brink is dead, and we are trapped on an alien world in a strange cave. Who knows what secrets await, because the mysteries of Cocytus are just below the surface in many ways. We are free to roam around and explore and discover the secrets of Cocytus. So we're going to go over here. And here's another rod.
Another one of these engraved sticks. What are they? Wands? Batons? Bludgeons? Maybe some kind of handheld computer game. With my luck, it's a hand grenade.
That's one of my favorite quotes in this game. With my luck, it's a hand grenade. So we'll go back here. And playing the game for the first time, you can spend a lot of hours wandering around these hallways, trying to find your way and find out what's to do next. But for the rest of the game, I played this enough to where I know exactly what to do. So I'm going to talk through some of the key areas, some of the things that happen, because there is a pretty significant story that's going to unfold. But especially for these moments where Boston is doing his thing, I'm not going to narrate every little aspect of it, but when there are key moments, I'll definitely address those.
It's hot here, and it's glowing down there.
This game is gorgeous. Look at that.
10 to 1, it's the power source for this place. All I need to do now is to find a light switch, or the plug, or the fuse box, or whatever makes this thing work. An instruction manual might help. Maybe a map, and I could use a sandwich, and a hot jukebox and a cold beer, or just a starship headed for home.
Poor Boston.
Get a grip, Boston.
So, I am going to talk about this part before we get into it. This is an interesting part of the dig, because this is one of the most insanely difficult puzzles in the entire game. And the puzzles in the dig range from extremely easy to mind-numbingly difficult. And in this particular case, this puzzle is notorious for its difficulty. At the time the game came out, it could take many hours for your average player to sit down and really determine the sequence of keys that needed to be pushed for this to be successful. So, yeah. We're gonna do this. I believe that's the right sequence. And let's see if this works. This should go down and realign for the power grid. And it did not work. Maybe we'll get lucky this time. I said, this is one of the more cumbersome puzzles in the game. So there we go. Got it. It finally collected the lens. The lens is part of what we will need to activate the reactor core. We'll go back over to the control panel, and we're going to clear it. And that should be the correct sequence to start the reactor. We did it. So we got to remove the panel, and I thought there we go, loose plate. I couldn't remember if it was on the panel or if it was actually on the reactor itself. We have blue crystal that we're going to need. Now that we have the crystal, we're going to go back up into the Nexus. So let's walk over here. And I believe this is the one. So this is you remember how Boston was worried about these possibly being grenades or something more sinister? Well, if you take a look, it's pretty obvious at this point. This was an easy puzzle element to figure out when initially playing the dig, is that, look what we got here. So this tells us a key combination for a particular door. We don't know exactly what door, and a lot of it's trial and error, but over time you kind of start to realize, if you've played it more than once, which rod goes to which door.
I don't think I want to kick this door in. It does seem to be humming, though. Some of the machinery in this place must still be working.
It's funny that he says that some of the machines in this place must still be working. We did just fix the reactor core so that we've got power to these machines. Whoops, there we go.
I hope this was a good idea.
Yeah, at first that concept of...
So what is through this door? A death trap? A mad scientist with a pretty girl and a talking robot? An alien cafeteria? Why am I just standing here? After all, as Brink found out, the worst thing that can happen is you can take one wrong step and you're dead.
Ooh. And that really is a contrast to the beginning, because where we had, if you can pick it up, take it with you. If you weren't supposed to be able to do it, you couldn't do it. So if you're not supposed to open the door, you can't open the door. But now Boston's faced with that existential crisis.
So much for the cafeteria idea.
Boston, are you there?
They use geometric shapes as a kind of combination for the locks.
Boston, you won't believe where I am. I'm in a place filled with alien technology, the most fantastic things I've ever seen. And the machines are working.
What are they doing?
I don't know yet. I mean, they're really alien. Like nothing I've seen before.
Don't go too fast, Maggie.
I'll be careful, Boston. But it's not like we have time to use correct scientific procedures to test these things.
Where are you? How can I get to you?
I wish I knew. It's a sure thing you can't get here the way I did. I slid through a low tunnel in the rock, and then it kind of got filled with debris when the roof collapsed.
You could have been killed.
Gee, I guess this isn't safe. But if we'd been together, whoever went through the crack second would definitely have been killed. Keep that in mind when you're thinking about coming to save me. I handled it just fine.
Yeah, I guess you did.
We're both doing okay, Boston. We'll find a way to connect up with each other when it matters.
Maggie, good work.
Thanks, Boston.
Poor Boston. All he really wants is a sandwich. No, there's no alien cafeteria around, though. Time to experience a new part of the planet. The tram system still works. The hamster ball. Let's take a little bit of a ride.
Now I know what my pet hamster felt like.
It was almost too obvious that he was going to make a hamster joke.
I need some help to pry this door open.
Planet is gorgeous. It really is. So, but we're going to move up to start with. We'll be going down to the water because there's a puzzle down there. There's a notorious puzzle for this game down there. But we're going to start at the top.
Another ghost. The last one pointed the way down into the Nexus. Of course, that's how Brink died.
Yeah, notice that this one pointed out away from the platform. So there are two methods for transiting between the islands of Cocytus. The first one is the tram system that we saw underwater, and the second one we actually have to build with a series of puzzles. For me, as a kid playing this game, these were the most difficult puzzles. Aside from the generator puzzle, which was nearly impossible without help, these were really difficult, but not so bad here later on. But these are important. We have to get each one of these correct in order to start building what's called the light bridge, which as we get further into the game, we'll learn a little bit about the history of the inhabitants and the tram system and the light bridge. All of that stuff becomes important here pretty soon. And now there is a fully functioning light bridge. Let's take a look at the whole planet. And so each of these are divided into spires. This was kind of a common thing for games in this era. Riven as well had a similar setup, but here over time we're going to build light bridges to each one of these spirals as we complete different elements of the story. But there's a crystalline form here in the center, but that's as far as we can go at the moment because we only have one light bridge active. But notice how everything in this game is geometric. That's also a critical part of the story and the history of the inhabitants of the planet.
It doesn't look safe to walk there.
Yeah, it's not safe, boss. Don't do it. Let's go back.
A bunch of displays set into the walls. Inscriptions here and there. I'd say it looks like some kind of museum.
Which makes sense because this is called the Museum Spire.
Symbols written on a plate. Looks like an alphabet.
And yes, we are continuing our trend of destroying the archaeological site, so we're just going to take that tablet.
Strange glowing crystals.
Yes, they are strange glowing crystals. And we have just been slightly introduced to a major plot point that will be coming up here in the game. We're going to take the crystals and put them away. So we are going to backtrack a little bit because now that we have the crystals, we can actually get started with the next part of the story. So we're going to jump into the tram and we're going to head all the way back to the Nexus because there's something very important that we want to do with the crystals. Brink is still dead. However, that can be changed.
It's a shot in the dark, but here goes nothing.
Oh boy, he's back.
Brink, are you okay?
I feel fine. What happened? I remember digging, and the ground gave way under me.
Brink, you've been dead for several hours.
You Americans, always exaggerating.
I assure you, Brink, no pulse, no breath, dead. I wish I knew how these life crystals work.
Life crystals.
Where's the crystal? I have to see it.
I wasn't sure it would work on a human being.
Our cellular structures must be very similar. Boston, it didn't just bring me to life. It brought me to life. I feel more powerful, more energetic, more alive than I've ever felt before.
Uh-oh.
Maggie, do you read me?
Yes, I do. I hope this is important.
I think so. Brink isn't dead anymore, Maggie.
You have a very sick sense of humor. Goodbye.
No, wait, I'm serious.
Deadly serious.
Brink! I can't believe it.
It was a crystal I found in the museum.
A crystal that heals the dead. If we ever get back home, this will change the world. It'll change everything.
It's not just being alive again, Maggie. I feel perfect. I feel like I never knew what good health was until today.
Now it's all the more important we find a way home.
It's always kind of important to me.
Keep exploring, Boston. I'll get back to work on the language.
You got it, Maggie.
So we still got one life crystal left, and there's one more thing that I think we need to do with it. So this is the red door. So we don't have the red rod yet. So we'll have to come back once we've gathered the red rod. And now that Brink is back to life, he's going to be joining us for a few bit. He's a little bit slow. But notice, look at his character, okay? His character is much more washed out than Boston. It should give you an indication that you may not know exactly what's up. He's not a zombie or anything, but something is definitely wrong. Something's not right with our friend Brink. So Brink should be enough manpower to get us through the door between the two of us.
Brink, would you give me a hand with this?
Sure.
On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Oh boy. It's a whole room full of them.
That was the longest visit from a ghost yet.
The whole display centered on this basin. It's full of crystals.
Yeah, it didn't look happy either.
Are these the life crystals? Like the one you used to bring me back to life?
They look like it.
Then it couldn't be more clear. These life crystals are the reason they brought us to this world. They have found the secret of life, and they want to share.
Weren't you watching, Brink? I don't care what language you speak, that ghost shaped itself like a skull. It was warning us. These crystals are dangerous.
It was the symbol of death, Lo. These crystals are the antidote for death. That's what it meant.
What if there are side effects? Did you think of that?
The side effect is that I feel better than I ever felt before. If you had used a life crystal on yourself, your mind would also be as clear as mine. And you'd see that there is nothing more important than getting these crystals and using them.
Brink, I think you're wrong. I think we need to be careful.
These aliens are kind and good, Commander. They have given us a gift.
Yeah? Well, if this is all so perfect, where are these aliens?
Maybe they've moved on to a higher plane of existence.
Or maybe they're all dead.
See how badly your brain is working. How could they be dead? They invented these life crystals. Commander, I feel sorry for you. Still tied down by an ordinary mind and ordinary fears. But I feel too good to want to argue with you. Believe what you want. I'm taking as many of these crystals as I can carry.
Yeah. Brink's drive to use the crystals and to get them to others is a little bit unusual.
Well, I'm going to take some for study back on Earth. I'm just not going to use them.
But you will, Commander.
So yeah, so this is a good turning point, because you thought Brink was dead, he is back, but the story is also taken kind of a sinister turn, because we've got the life crystals, which that's what they're called, and it's obvious that the ghost is warning us about the crystals, and we're going to find out exactly why they're warning us about those crystals, because Brink's displaying some interesting characteristics that are contrary to what we know of him from the mission to the asteroid and exploring the planet before he was killed. And now that he's standing here with us, just what sinister secrets await us? So it's obvious that Brink is under the influence of the life crystals. So we got to be careful. Got to be careful. We're going to take a few, because we're going to need them for later on in the game. But we're going to go back one more spot. I don't know how this will work with Brink, but I missed a location that I wanted to go earlier. We're going to go up and travel through the museum spire again. So now we got Brink walking with us. Obviously, he's got some kind of issues since he's been brought back from the dead. And what I didn't do earlier is come over here, and we're going to go inside this door and see an old friend.
Brink, I still can't believe you're alive again after all.
I feel so good right now. I can hardly believe I was ever sick, or tired, or sad, let alone dead. These life crystals are the most important discovery ever made by anyone. We have to find more of them. I can't think of anything more important than that.
Well, maybe it's just a little bit important to try to find a way home to Earth. What are the crystals worth if we can't get home to share them with everybody else?
What are they worth? Are you crazy?
Please, go somewhere else to have a philosophical argument. When you find a way home, Boston, then we can decide what we need to bring with us. I'm hoping what I can bring is a key to the language used in this library. I have a feeling that the life crystal is only a small part of what we'll learn here. Now please, boys, go away.
It is hard to resist such a charming invitation.
Do you want us to call you for supper, Maggie?
Keep me posted on what you find. We are all in this together.
We are all in this together, but separate. I do love the dynamic between them all, though. So, let's take a look at this museum display over here. No idea what these mean.
Could this be some sort of burial chamber?
Okay. So now we're going to move on down here. We're going to go down to the waterfront for one of the more famous puzzles in this game. This game didn't have many memorable puzzles, but this one was definitely one of them. And if you don't pay attention, it actually can be a little bit difficult to solve, although in retrospect, it's embarrassingly easy to solve.
Plenty of water here. If it's drinkable, then we won't die right away. We'll have plenty of time to starve to death.
That thing doesn't look too friendly.
Gross. Hey, Brink, do you think... Brink? Brink? Where are you? Brink, answer me.
Brink, can you hear me? Where are you?
Maggie, Brink's run off. He wasn't acting very rational when we found a big supply of life crystals. I'm afraid maybe those things are addictive, or they altered his personality or something. A ghost tried to warn us, but Brink was feeling too cocky to listen to good advice.
Just when this place starts looking benign, it finds new ways to be dangerous.
Anyway, I'm going on without him. I can't think of anything else to do.
I'll try to contact him now and then, see if he's willing to talk.
Thanks, Maggie. I'm beginning to take this personally. Nobody wants to stay with me. Maybe it's my deodorant. I think it failed somewhere back there on Attila.
The loose bones. The turtle. This is the turtle puzzle. And you do it by clicking the bones and rotating them. And the point is to reassemble said turtle. One of the reasons that this particular puzzle is kind of notorious is how it goes together. It can be put together wrong. So back on the Attila, we had the one puzzle with the in the central pedestal, and it wasn't difficult at all. Let's be real. This one's a little different. You can actually put it together backwards. And if you do put it together backwards, nothing happens. And so, as you can see right here, I have put this puzzle together completely backwards. This was a huge problem for me the first time I played this game, because it will let you put it together wrong. But we know how to put it together the right way. So now it has turned from loose bones to a dead creature. What do we do with dead creatures on Cocytus? We bring them back to life. Uh-oh.
Gross. I'm pretty sure he's still hungry.
So, in essence, we could sit here and do this all day. We're not going to do this all day, but I wanted to show you that this is one of the more challenging puzzles for the game, because if you don't do the sequence correctly, you will be doing it over and over and over again. Oh. So I forgot something. That's why this isn't working. And this is how we play the dig. We're going to backtrack real quick. Not far. Back to the crystalline room. As I said before when I started playing, that was one of the challenges of these games, is constant backtracking. You forget one little thing. And what I forgot was the canister here. I'm going to take some more crystals, because we never know when we're going to need to reanimate the dead. And we're going to head back out to the water. So we've got the dead creature ready to go. A perfect playthrough of the dig would be no fun, because it's really not the dig experience. The whole dig experience is going back and forth on this planet, trying to figure out how to get out of there. So now we're going to use this canister on the bones. Oh, it says loose bones. Maybe it's not ready. Oh, we got them backwards here. There we go. So now we're going to use this with the dead creature.
You just need a little something to make you complete, my friend. Maybe this will give you indigestion.
Indigestion. So there's a reason for all this. So let's take a look and see what happens when we reanimate the turtle this time.
That canister sure packs a punch.
So we now know that the wands are not grenades, but that was.
Now that the water's safe for swimming, I think it's time to see what's in that underwater cave.
Time to take a dip. All right, and welcome to the underwater cave. Part of our next adventure here on Cosidus. We're going to pick up the orange rod this time.
Another engraving.
At this point, he doesn't have much to say about them. So we have the yellow, purple, red, and the orange one. So we're close to having all of the rods to be able to open the doors in the Nexus. We're going to take the plate.
Looks like one of the control plates we found on Attila.
Yep. And if you haven't figured out at this point in the dig, if you find a plate, take the plate. You never know when you're going to need the plate.
Nice view.
So that's all there is to do in the underwater cave. So you do the turtle puzzle in order to get inside the cave to get the rod and the plate. Once you have those two items, then we are going to leave the cave and head back up to the main area. We're going to head through the tram system and head back to the Nexus. I wonder where Brink is. Almost expect him to be hanging out in the life crystal pod there. We are back at the Nexus, continuing on. So we got 3 greens and a red. Cube, diamond. And remember, once we get the correct combination, it should open automatically. There we go. Another open doorway. No commentary this time. I think Boston's starting to figure out the point here. We're going to call the tram, and we're going to be heading to what's called the Planetarium Spire from here. I always wondered if he was spinning around in there or what it's like. But it's a trippy experience to roll in a hamster ball like that. So this is an interesting part of the game. As you can see, Boston coming here. And there's kind of a timing puzzle coming up. So we can't get across. There's no bridge. But we're going to walk over here. And at the right time, when the wave comes up, we're going to rumble. So we got to wait for the rumble. Oh no! If you miss it, he ends up in the water.
That should be an Olympic event. I know I'd get at least the bronze.
So what we do is we're going to move up here and waiting for a rumble. And this is a key, like, really it's best with headphones, but there's a rumble. And here it comes. Boston. Oh. There we go. Nicely done, Commander Lowe.
First time I ever did the wave all by myself.
So we're going to, we're going to connect a new light bridge.
That should have turned on another light bridge.
Oh no.
And it didn't. Bummer. I guess when you abandon machinery long enough, it's going to get out of adjustment. Just needs a little adjustment.
Just a little bit of adjustment. Now we're going to try. And the second light bridge is established.
The way things have been going, I can pretty much bet that whatever that little beast just stole, I'm gonna want it really badly in a minute or two. The last time I was small enough to get into a cave that size, I was 4 years old. A place for everything, and everything in its place. Scavengers have picked these ribs clean, but the animal can't have been dead very long because the rib cage is still holding together.
Never know when you're going to need a spare rib cage. Ah, there it is. So there's a rod and a pole that we do. So we're going to take the dowel rod and use it here with the center.
It won't do anything.
No, it won't.
It won't accomplish anything.
Told you you'd hear that a lot.
It won't do anything. It won't accomplish anything. It won't accomplish anything. That doesn't fit here. A thin metal plate with a button on it. It won't accomplish anything. A short metal dowel. That's a nice fit.
Okay. We're building a machine, in case you hadn't noticed. There's many things in LucasArts. It's got to be done exactly.
If only I had some bait for this trap. But I'll just have to play sheepdog.
We're going to scare it out.
There's something moving in here.
Scared it away.
A lot of useless junk collected by that little thief. A lot of useless junk collected by that little thief. The last time I was small enough to get into a cave that size, I was 4 years old. There's something moving in here.
So scare him away one more time. And what I'm trying to do...
A lot of useless junk collected by that little thief.
So the game will reset here in a second to let us try again. And I think...
A lot of useless junk collected by that little thief. There's something moving in here.
He's supposed to run to the right, but he runs to the left, which is odd. Just a little bit. So we're going to do this. Walk around. We're going to scare him into the trap. Get in the trap, buddy. There we go.
Now I've got you. If I let you out, you'll head for the place where you hide nice shiny machinery parts. The only trouble is, how am I going to follow you?
So we're going to take the rod.
A thin metal rod.
And we're going to use it with the panel.
It won't accomplish anything.
And it won't accomplish anything. But remember what we got when we first arrived? Down in the, down near the graves? This shiny bracelet. So now, we have shiny bracelet. And we're going to let that critter loose so that he can lead us.
Friend, but your little house is about to get a big front door.
We need the materials.
That looks big enough to squeeze through.
Not sure why he couldn't have done that to begin with. I mean, sure, the little critter was there and stealing machine parts, but then, you know, it's like he had to do that first before he could use the shovel to widen the, I don't know. It's the dig.
It's indicating to the left of me.
So what that is a tracker. That is the device that tracks the bracelet. So now we're going to try to let the critter out so that he can run away and lead us to his machinery parts.
Go, little creature. Roam free, wherever your thieving little heart desires.
Then we're going to go back into the cave and use the device again to see if we can find where he's at.
It's got to be right under here. This is where the tracker's pointing.
So, use the shovel.
What if I hadn't brought this shovel along? No, that's not worth thinking about.
Thank you, Cora, for remembering to pack the shovel inside the
Critter
pig.
sure didn't like that. He took off down one of his tunnels. Now maybe I can get the door open.
All that so that we can get the door open and we can continue on into the planetarium spire. So we built a trap, captured an animal, retrieved the machine part. Now we can use that with the
Now,
panel.
with any luck, this will work. Shut tight and solid. It's missing a part. Now let's get this thing closed up and see if it works. Open sesame.
Nice. Okay. So, we have the green rod, which I believe, and I might be wrong, but I believe that's the last of the rods.
Another one of these engraved sticks.
So, this is the planetarium. And it's a pretty neat little room, and we're going to explore it real quick. So, we're going to take the twin scepters.
The scepter seems to have an electrical charge.
And we're going to take... Oh, not the button. We're going to take the plate. Again. And these are really the plates, or at least shaped much like the plates from Attila. So... we're going to take the gold scepter, and we're going to point it up to the light here.
It's the ceiling of the dome.
So we didn't do it correctly. If we do it correctly, the door should close. So we're going to try it again.
No! Why is that door closing? He didn't steal that part again, did he? I'm trapped in here?
No, you're not.
Ha! Controls still work on this side.
So we are done with the planetarium spire. The key with the planetarium spire is to use the planetarium to activate. For one, we got to activate the light bridge. So we want to make sure that the bridge is active, but we also are looking for lunar alignment. Go ahead and take the blue rod. We're going to walk across the light bridge over to the museum spire. Much more efficient than using the tram system, that's for sure. But that's what we're going to do. We're going to use the tram system to go back to the Nexus again. The way that the tram car disappears and has to be called, depending on where you're at, makes me think there's only one of them, which really would be an inefficient mode of travel for a large group of people. So it makes me think that whoever was here in this, this is almost like a temple, and whoever was here in this temple, city, whatever, there weren't many of them. We are back at the Nexus once more. We're going to walk into this dark tunnel. I always loved this cutscene as a kid. Creepy blue alien plants. It's a room made entirely of crystals or glass, but just this whole planet is like one giant work of natural art. It's exceptional. So at this point, we've entered into the kind of a crystal cave, and it's pretty. but really only serves as an airlock for us to enter into the command center. This can be tricky because if you hit the button once and then you hit the door, it won't let you in.
There's an airtight seal between these two rooms.
But then you have to hit the button again, and it'll actually open the door and let you in.
This looks like a command center.
And there's a small puzzle down here with glowing crystals. And this one's not too bad. I actually kind of like how this one's designed. But you have one crystal that's not working, and you have 3 holes here. Well, that is why when we were on the planetarium spire, I went to the last room and I stole the blue rod that was lodged in the wall. Because we're going to take this and we're going to put it in the hole here, and that actually activates the other controls. And you can sit here and you can mess with these controls and slide them, but ultimately we need this crystal to turn back on. And to activate it, you have to click on it, and it turns the top of it white. And then we're just going to slide each one of these until the top of that crystal turns a brighter shade of white. And once we've reached the right balance, the system will activate. And we didn't go and try it, but there was a disabled tram system. And so this console reactivates that tram system. And so now we're going to go back to the Nexus and take that tram to what's called the Tomb Spire, which is very pretty. It's not as creepy as it sounds. It's got 2 pushes, and we'll head out to the Tomb Spire, or the Nexus first. So we'll go here, and yep, this is the panel. So going to open up the red door. So we've got blue pyramid. Again, as I said earlier, one of the advantages to this particular system is that you don't have to exit or do anything else. Once you've gotten the combination correct, the door opens on its own and we can move on. So it is possible for us to enter this room earlier in the game once we acquire the red rod, but this tram system wouldn't work. So ultimately you have to work your way to the planetarium spire, grab the blue rod, reactivate the controls, and now we can use the tram to gain access to the next spire. Let's take another ride in the hamster ball. As a kid, I absolutely wanted so badly to visit this world. I mean, the artwork with the music combination is masterful in this game. I could just sit here and watch the waves flow all day long. But we have things to do. we're trying to get home. I'm sure Boston's getting hungry by now. I mean, earlier he was complaining about wanting a sandwich. Now, this particular area of the game, it shows one of the criticisms the game had when it first came out, because they really promoted that it had 100 different locations for you to play in. Many of those locations are like this one, where you just pass through it. So, yeah, it might have had 100 different scenes, but not every one of those scenes were interactive. I still think it's nice, but yeah, you can't really interact with all of them. So now here, we're at the top of the tomb spire, and this is gorgeous. It really is. These are the moons that were influenced from our work in the planetarium, and
the larger moon is being eclipsed by the smaller one.
I think there's a way for him to say something about it being geosynchronous or something like that, but I can't remember how to get him to say it. But what we got to do here is we're going to take the shovel, because this is the dig, and there is a stone plate, and we're going to dig up that plate.
Let's see if this plate can be moved.
Generally, as you may have figured out by now, in this game, if there is a plate lying around, attached to a wall or on the ground, dig it up, pick it up, take it, move it. You want to collect the plates. Now we have a hole, and we're going to go down in the hole into the tomb.
Could this be some sort of burial chamber?
I mean, it's most likely a burial chamber, Boston. There's some creepy sounds, but it's actually not that creepy of a place. But to get it activated, we can take the blue crystal and place it over the control panel. Oh. And now the tomb is illuminated. That's all we have to do here, is basically turn on the power to the spire. Now, we're going to go back, and we have another one of these panels. Now, I don't know if it's this one, but one of these panels is broken, and it has a somewhat tedious puzzle.
Uh-oh. Looks like the warranty must have run out on this light bridge.
Yeah, this one's broken. So, but we've got a lens, so
just needs a little adjustment.
So this is like the last one. We'll just adjust the lens. Let's give it another try. I guess it needs more adjustment.
Okay, so maybe it needs a little more adjustment.
That's what I said. Now we have 3 functional light bridges. Let's take a step out there and see what Cosidus is looking like now. So now we have 3 functional bridges. We have the tomb spire, planetarium, and the museum. And now we have a crystal form in the center. And remember when we viewed it earlier? It's much more defined at this point. So something's going on here in the center. We'll find out what in a little while, though. But in the meantime, we're going to head back to the Nexus, because we need to do a little bit of electrical engineering for the next part to access the next spire. So the next part of the game, the next sort of puzzle, is where some of you really have to be intuitive to solve some of these puzzles, and that was one of the beauties of this game. As I said earlier, in the dig, there are very few things that are in the game that you don't use. Most of the stuff in the game is there for a reason. This door is sealed. This panel does not work, and there are sparks here. So this particular column, all of this stuff is here in this particular spot for a reason. There's no other place in the Nexus that has kind of these sparks coming out of the floor. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the tusk. I'm going to pop this panel off because there's no power going to it.
Let's see if we can pry the cover off.
And we're going to use some of our tools to fix the power problem. And in particular, the wire that we collected from the damaged spaceship at the beginning of the game. We're going to hook those up to the sparks and access the next part.
Let's see if we can get something flowing from this broken conduit on the floor, if I don't electrocute myself in the process. I should have been an electrician.
And so this is the green door. Pyramid, diamond. And then what was the last one? Green cube. Did I miss something? Oh, yeah. There we go. Now we can proceed on to the map spire. This one has an unusual perspective because he's actually behind the ball. So you just kind of have to click here and go into the ledge. And the River Canyon. I love the River Canyon. Both the song and the beauty of the location itself. But we're going to start. This one's a little complicated. So we're going to take this one slowly. Certainly more complicated than the Tomb Spire, where we just walk and stick a crystal in the wall. So we're going to walk over here into this cavern. So and then we're going to head over here to this pit. We're going to enter into, should come to a room, and there's a panel that we're going to have to work with. I really like this room. This almost looks like there is a room in Riven that looks almost exactly like this. That's got the earthen columns with the vines growing on them. And I think it might even have a river running through it, but it's almost exactly like that. But there's a panel here that we're going to interact with. So this is gonna take a little bit, but we're going to go through all 4 rods. So we're going to start with purple. So those were blue. And it shows us a view of the...
Amazing map system.
Yeah.
You don't even have to refold it when you're done.
So, for those of you who've never held a map before, we used to have to fold maps. So that first one was the museum spire. And we're going to do the red spire, or the red rod next. So, I think it was, yeah. So each one of these are going to give us a scene. I believe that's correct. Yeah, and then the green diamond. And that is the tomb that we just illuminated.
So there is more to that crypt than I first thought.
Mm-hmm. So, if you saw, the floor was missing. Now, we're going to go to the orange one. Which is a red diamond. And green cube. I think it was green pyramid. Or green diamond. So there was a crack. That was the crack inside the planetarium spire. And then the last one should show us a cave system, if we do it right. So it's green at the end, red diamond, red pyramid. Last one was yep, there's the cave system. So now that we have viewed all 4 of the maps, we're going to go through this opening here, and our next light bridge should be accessible. And once we start gaining access, now that we've gained access to light bridges on most of the spires, we should just be able to hop between them and eventually stop using the tram system. So let's give it a try.
Another broken light bridge.
Yep, this one's broken.
So this is what's in the guts of these machines.
Yep. And as a kid, this was a really tedious puzzle to try to figure out at times.
Pretty impressive for someone who never took a class in alien physics.
Absolutely, Boston. You are much smarter than you appear, my friend. That puzzle, honestly, that puzzle, when I first started playing the game, this puzzle right here was pretty much where I hit my major wall when playing the game. I just could not figure out how to align those lights properly. Eventually I got it, but it was so frustrating because at this point we've dealt with so many obscure and unusual puzzles that to be thrown something like this and just kind of expected to know how to fix this alien machine with no guidance, it really is a shot in the dark. So, yeah. But we have fixed it and we have established the next light bridge. The big thing now is, like I said, we have more light bridges. So we only have one spire left that we can't access via the light bridge. Let's take a look at the crystal form and see what it looks like now. Oh, it is really coming along. So, yeah, if you haven't figured out, the crystal form in the center is going to be a huge part of the game's finale. So it is an important part of what we're building toward here. So we're going to head back to the tomb spire and take a look at the tomb again, because it seems there was a little more than we realized the first time we were in there, huh?
Whoa! The stone is loose.
We're going to use
that should hold it.
Yep, we're going to use the rod to hold the stone.
There's something smooth under the dirt. A lens. Light must pass through it down into...
Much more to the tomb than we originally expected. Watch this.
I worry this statue is life-sized. I hope I don't get kicked out for destroying the exhibit.
No.
Now that I know what I'm looking for, maybe I can get this slab out of the way.
Much more to the tomb spire than we originally thought. So now we're getting into some of the deeper secrets of Cositas. So it's listed as a tomb, which in a way it is, but you can see that there's far more secrets beyond the tomb door. We're gonna find out here in a minute. Uh-oh.
Oh, now suddenly we've got guard dogs. Where did he come from, anyway?
So this is not a combat game. We cannot fight the alien dog, but it's one of the reasons we brought the life crystals. Remember, we took more than we needed when we were in the room earlier? We have a plan. Apparently, these dogs don't like each other.
Look, it's the ugly twins. That worked out rather well.
It really did. And for the time, this game was pretty violent. Let's walk through the doorway.
I can't get it open.
Oh, we can't. Maybe if we use this.
The door evaporated when the engraving touched the slot. This is the engraving we found in the shipwreck. The one the first ghost gave us. This must be where the ghost wanted us to come all along.
Yep. This is kind of where they've been leading us. So, which is one of the reasons that we're getting kind of the same theme song that we got at the beginning with the starship, the damaged starship.
Maggie, I found something. It's far below the tomb, past some pretty ugly guards. A dead alien sealed inside a crystal pyramid.
Sounds like they went to a lot of trouble to hide it.
Must have been important to him. A king or something.
Or it terrified them. Remember, this is the land of the life crystals. Dead doesn't necessarily mean dead. Maybe they were trying to keep it from being found and revived.
But this is where the ghost wanted us to go. The key to the last door was the key that the first ghost showed us, back in the ruined spaceship.
Still, you don't have a key to the pyramid, right? Besides, how do you know the ghost is our friend? Brink died by digging where the ghost pointed.
I hate not having enough information.
I'm working as fast as I can to get this stuff translated. I'm so close I can taste it.
Fine, keep working. Call me if you think of anything helpful. It's the remains of a huge creature. Looks like a panel.
Yeah, look at this. So, again, kind of our theme here. Here goes nothing.
He's very tall. Or I'm very short. I wish I didn't keep thinking of the term bite size. Please be friendly. I hope you're friendly. I'm certainly friendly. Let's all be friends.
Let's all be friends.
Daham Chianak Trestolum. Kalatisia Nea Eklash Park.
Well, hey, thanks. It's been great talking to you. So long. You can go back to sleep now or whatever.
Zulsen Swak Natsla. Iwitsa Narum Mainzian.
I'd better tell Maggie about this.
Maggie. Come in, Maggie.
Yes? What?
Maggie, you won't believe what just happened.
Boston, I think I've got it. I've got the language. I can read this stuff now.
Finally.
Can you speak it? Because I've got this...
But take this inscription here. I'm pretty sure it's talking about...
Maggie?
Maggie, watch out.
My mind must be playing tricks on me.
What were you saying about...
Ah! What are you? What do you want?
What's happening? What's going on?
Boston! Brink! Leave me!
Maggie! Brink! Come in, wherever you are, we need you. Something's happened to Maggie. Damn.
So, Maggie has been attacked by a giant spider. Which, I gotta admit, playing this game all these years ago, I did not see that one coming. That was a big surprise. That even on Cocytus, probably millions of light years from Earth, there are still giant spiders. Yeah. So, but we did manage to open the pyramid, and that is one of the Cocytans, and we can't understand his language. You saw the menu pop up. There's options for us to discuss things with him, but it's pointless because he just speaks in a language that we can't understand. So, yeah, Maggie's in trouble. What to do next? Maggie is in trouble. So let's go rescue her. Although, it's probably not going to be as easy as it seems. There's always a curveball thrown to us. So we've got to go back up into the tomb. This time we're going to go into the cave interior because we need somebody to help us. There's our buddy working there in the background, Brink. Wonder what he's digging for. I bet you can guess. Watch this.
What are you doing here, Lo? I don't want you here.
Something happened to Maggie. She needs our help.
Then go help her. What I'm doing here is important.
Hey, if we felt that way about you, you'd still be dead.
You're the tough guy, Lo. You're the hero. Go do your hero activities and let me do the science. What do you think you're doing? I don't need your help.
So we really need Brink to join us. And so I need crystals. But every time I try to pick them up, he's going to come over and stop me. So there's a neat little trick to getting Brink to agree with us. So this cave has some bat creatures at the top. And we're going to use the bats to scare Brink away long enough for us to grab the crystals. And I'm going to do that by flushing them out with the flashlight.
Come on, guys. Let's get a look at you.
No! Go away!
That should give us a chance to go over here and take a few life crystals for ourselves. Brink is so obsessed with his life crystal science, but there's more important things to do.
You thief! Give those back!
I will, Brink. After you help me find Maggie.
I'm not going to waste one moment on such a meaningless task.
Yes, you will, Brink. If you ever want these life crystals back.
You're a miserable bully, Lo. Typical military mind. Pushing other people around.
Right. So follow me and do as you're told. Is that rational enough for you? Brink. I'm worried that these life crystals may have side effects.
The only side effect is the envy of people who haven't used them.
Have you used more of them?
Their effect on health and intelligence increases with each use.
What about their effect on sanity?
These life crystals are the most important technology ever created. They are the answer to everything.
So he's been using the life crystals over and over, like a drug. And now that we've got Brink back with us, we're going to head back to the map spire. And once we've got the light bridges activated, we don't have to take the tram system, so it's a lot faster. Over here to the map spire.
Maggie, is that you? Are you all right?
Oh. How can she be all right? She's bound up in that web.
And she looks fine to me. She's okay.
Brink. Unless we want to end up where Maggie is, we've got to get by this thing.
The obvious plan is for one of us to distract him while the other one slips by.
Maybe you are thinking better. You want to sneak or distract?
I'll be the diversion. Come here, you phlegm carapace, slime-faced, mucus-brained, furry-legged abductor of luminously intelligent but pulchritudinous earth women.
Wow.
Lo, you idiot! Why are you standing there?
I'm still trying to figure out what you said.
Move your silly buttocks, you fool!
Boston, where are you going? I'm over here. Don't leave me.
So... I've got to walk up to the falls source here. And it's kind of funny because this all happens so fast. But there's this rock here, and you have to push it.
At this point, I'm ready to try any damn thing.
Exactly. You have to make this very complicated, but pushing the rock will divert the water, and is going to help us to fight the monster.
Where were you? This monster has me trapped.
Boston? Where have you been?
I've diverted some of the water from the falls. I thought some of it might flow through here and wash the monster away.
Well, instead, the monster's got Brink trapped up there, and I'm still stuck down here.
And he's just kind of like got his arms crossed, and he's as calm as can be about it.
Brink. There's a grate down by Maggie. If you can lure the monster over toward it, then when Maggie unclogs the grate, the water I diverted will hit it like a fire hose.
This is seriously your plan?
Do you have a better one?
Maggie, can you get the grate open?
Has anybody thought of the fact that if it does spout water like a fire hose, I'm right here?
That's a good point, Maggie. Hold on tight.
How do I hold on tight when I'm unclogging a grate?
That's why you get the big bucks.
Do it then. Just do it. It's only my life anyway.
You're already tightly bound to the wall and the web. You should be fine, Maggie.
Come on, you ponderous exoskeleton. You cocoon-eating lobster face, cave-dwelling arthropoidal elementary sphincter muscle.
Bye-bye, monster.
Maggie, you made it.
How's my hair?
You're worried about your...
I was joking, Boston. You know, like you strong, manly types do when you just about get killed.
Maggie's safe now. I satisfied our little deal. So give me my crystals and let me get back to work.
Brink, it's time for us to work together on...
I said give them to me! Take one more step closer, Maggie, and you'll wish you were back with that giant lobster.
He sure is weird.
Now what?
I've been getting the feeling that the ghosts want us to help them. As if they were stuck and wanted out.
Stuck how?
Well, the library console seemed to indicate that they may have left this world for another. What if they want to come back, but can't?
I don't know. How will we go about helping? Assuming that's what they want, and they wouldn't eat us when they got back.
Beats me. I'm just interpreting.
So, that's a big part of the story. So the Poseidons have kind of transitioned to a new realm, and they want to come back. And the life crystals play a part in that. And that's really the message that they've been transmitting. And I don't think, and we'll have to keep going to make sure the dialogue matches up, but I'm not sure. I don't think it's specifically meant for the people of Earth. We just happen to be the planet that answered the message put into Attila. So kind of a luck of the draw thing. Message in a bottle, essentially. And Maggie's safe, and Brink is absolutely out of his mind, addicted to the life crystals, which I think life crystal is probably the wrong name for them. They seem more like death crystals, because sure, they can bring people back to life, but look at what they've done to Brink. He wasn't the nicest guy to start with, but is he better off now than he was lying dead on the floor of the Nexus earlier? I don't know.
Now that you can read the library inscriptions, can you make any sense out of this? What does it say?
It seems to be talking about an important thing, I don't know what, that was hidden
Any hints about where?
On the other side of the hole, so that none may enter. Then it tells how to, pull back this part of entrance. Whatever that means. It's pretty vague.
There are some things that man was not meant to understand.
Yeah, but this one even woman is having a hard time with.
It's shimmering, a light that doesn't seem real, as if it's just on the edge of existence.
It makes me think of something. Something I saw earlier. Or maybe I read it.
Can you look at this inscription, Maggie? Does it say anything that might help?
Boston. It exactly describes that strange field of almost light.
What does it say?
It's a set of instructions. Now it makes perfect sense. I just twist this.
Everything's so simple when you read the directions.
If we didn't know better, we'd think that island had been there for 1,000,000 years.
The place for everything and everything in its place. Notice the tablet didn't do that on the other location. We had to be here for the tablet to actually work and Maggie to be able to understand it. But we're just here to grab
what was
this
so
plate.
important that they left us exact instructions on how to get here?
Maybe that metal plate over there.
I'd say we've almost collected all the plates that we had from Attila. I think for the most part, we're done with the tram system. So we won't be heading back to the tram system anytime soon that I'm aware of, since we've got the light bridge system working. he's not here.
Yeah, right. Like I'm gonna stick my hand in some crack in the rock on an alien planet.
So this may be one of those moments where in the playthrough we actually get to experience the backtracking, because Brink was supposed to contact us once we walked out into the cavern. So let's go back to the map spire. So the event hasn't triggered for the next part. So there's a chance that we missed something, but I highly doubt it. Because once we grab the plate from the secret island, Brink should have contacted us. So we're going to go back and see if there's a chance that we missed something.
This island was brought back from another dimension.
Alright, just making sure we've done everything in here. And we should walk out into the opening back to the cave system. So let's check and see. We're missing a plate. That's the problem. So we've missed a plate. We're going to go back. We've got to backtrack just a little bit to make sure and see which plate we've actually left. We're supposed to have 4 plates because we'll need the 4th plate in order to open the final door to access the cathedral spire. Which is all part of the fun. And so with everything we've done, we head back to where we started. We haven't been here with Maggie before. Last time we were here with Brink. So we've officially visited the waterfront with all of our team members.
We don't have time for recreational swimming, Boston.
I thought there might be something I overlooked in that cave I swam to before.
You thought it might be fun to see if I could swim that far underwater.
Never mind.
So, it's not that one that we're missing. So at this point, we'll be heading to the planetarium spire to see if it's that plate that we're missing. Which this is where we had come before, expecting Brink to call us. And so there's no plates here. Let's see what the crack does.
I can see outside.
Okay, so that one wasn't as cool as the previous entry. So I believe there's one spot left where we might have missed a plate. And to get there, we're going to have to go back to the Nexus one last time. So we actually might have to use the tram system. Even after I just said that we were done with it. That's okay. Maggie gets her first introduction to the tram system. Come on, Maggie, let's go for a ride. You're going to enjoy this. It's like being a hamster. And let's see if the fourth plate we left lying here in the Nexus. We did. There it is. So it was there the whole time.
That's the fourth one. If it's like the metal plates on Attila, these four should fit together in that triangle matrix.
Yes, but there's no guarantee that putting them together will take us anywhere we want to go.
You have the most cheerful thoughts, Ms. Robbins.
If you had been abducted by a monster and then half drowned, you might be pessimistic too.
But you lived, didn't you? And your hair looks terrific again.
You sure know how to make a girl feel good.
We better go find Brink again, in case these metal plates do the job.
He threatened to kill me the last time I saw him. Maybe it would be safer if we leave him and send an expedition back to get him later. An armed expedition.
There's no guarantee we'll ever get back. For all we know, this is a one-way trip.
You're right. We can't leave him. He scares me, Boston. Worse than the monster.
They're both just hungry for something.
But Brink is smarter. More dangerous.
We're smart too. Let's go.
He's right. We are smart, but she's got a good point. Brink is dangerous, because Brink is a scientist. Brink knows better, but he's not thinking clearly. He's under the influence of the crystals, and that's scary. I wish I could go back and say that we weren't going to use the tram system again, but we ended up having to use it one last time.
That was a powerful one.
Commander Lowe, can you hear me?
Brink, we're looking for you. We've got the last of the metal plates and we...
Listen to me, Commander. I'm trapped. I need your help.
Where are you?
It's near one of the light bridges. An arched bridge over a waterfall, and then into a crevice in the rock. You must have been there. You're the one who's been turning on all the light bridges, aren't you?
Hold tight, we're on our way.
Hold tight! Very funny.
I don't think at that point he was trying to be funny, but he really was. If you're trapped in a wall, Brink, you'll be okay. Just
nothing happened.
Stick around. Nothing happened, huh? So let's go back. Let's try the map tram. Can't remember which one of these we came out of. Oh. There we go. That one still works. So this should be our final trip in the tram system. One last ride in the hamster ball. First time playthrough for this game, that whole sequence where we backtracked to try to find the fourth plate that had been lying in the Nexus the whole time, that's pretty common. That was a common occurrence for playing these type of games. Not just the Dig, but any of the point-and-click adventure games, LucasArts or Sierra Online, or Micropose. You spend your time going back and forth, finding every little detail that you'd missed. Some obscure artifact or puzzle or sequence that you'd forgotten that prevented the story from advancing. But now we've reached a point where we are heading back to the planetarium spire so that we can rescue Brink from being stuck in the wall. And he's stuck in that crevice that Boston said earlier that he wouldn't stick his hand in a crack in an alien world. So it's kind of funny because you've got the military guy, the military kind of command authority, who's not, he's not a scientist. He's an every guy, but he's the one that's like, I'm not going to stick my hand in this crack in the wall in an alien world, and the scientist, who's should know better, yeah, he didn't figure it out.
You've just got your hand jammed in the rock? I thought you were in real trouble, Brink.
When would it be real trouble, Commander? When it's your hand?
I don't go sticking my hand in the cracks.
I was reaching for a life crystal, and then the rock shifted. My circulation is cut off. No blood is getting to my hand. You can't pull me out, Commander. Don't leave me to die here, even if you have to cut off my hand.
Don't be so dramatic, Brink. Nobody's going to cut off your hand.
Don't make promises you might not be able to keep, Maggie.
Are you serious? He's just got a stuck hand.
It's a race to see whether gangrene kills him before he dies of thirst or starvation.
You'd cut it off.
Of course he would. The military trains you to recognize necessity and do it.
It would be easier if I had anything to cut it with.
Chew it off then!
Oh, I would, Brink. But human teeth can't bite through bone.
After all that's happened to us, this may be the most horrible.
Do something, Commander! Do it now!
Yeah, this is one of the rougher moments of the game. So here we go. We do have something sharp that we can use. The jawbone.
You're going to saw off his hand with a jawbone?
The teeth are razor sharp.
What about anesthetic?
Do it, Commander!
Brace yourself, Brink. I can't believe you endured so much pain without fainting.
I'm fine, but I'll need more crystals.
Come with us to the Triangle Matrix. We've got all the metal plates. We think it's gonna take us home.
You don't know where it's going to take you. I'd rather gather more life crystals.
What if it does take us home, Brink? What if we can't come back and get you? Do you want to stay here forever? Then what will happen to your research into the life crystals?
Yes, I see your point. I'll go with you to try out these metal plates. But if it doesn't get us home, then you two will stop interfering with me from then on. All right? You agree we have a deal?
Agreed.
All right, all right.
Look how washed out Brink is now. He just keeps getting darker and darker. His colors are nowhere near as vibrant as they used to be. And so here we are. Back where we started. Using the same panels from Attila to open another gateway.
That should do it.
Do what? What's happening?
Nothing is happening, that's what.
That's not exactly nothing, Brink.
It's a door. You think Earth is on the other side? I think nothing is on the other side.
What did you expect? The Tooth Fairy to come and fly us all home? The door opened. Let's go see what's in there.
We had a deal. I came, these metal plates did not take us home, and now you will have to leave me alone forever. You gave me your word, and I expect you to keep it.
He is definitely insane.
Is that your opinion as a journalist?
It's my opinion as a sane person.
Yeah, I think Brink is definitely a lost soul. So I think it's neat because at the beginning, this was the design on Attila, and it switched to the triangle when Attila transformed into the geometric shape and transported us here. And now it's turned back. So we've really come full circle. And we're going to take the tram to the cathedral spire. Where we're either going to get to go home or face another destiny.
I saw something like this in the museum display. This machine was the greatest of the inventor's achievements.
What does it do?
I haven't the faintest idea.
Do you think it might send us home?
Right now, it's doing nothing.
It's glowing, so let's check it out. But he saw a picture of it, but we never got to see what it does.
It looks like there's a part missing here. There's a gap.
So we've got to find the piece. Nothing's ever easy in these games. Just when you think you're getting close to the end, there's always something more. The machines just never work. It never just works. So this one, we've got a nest. We've got to clear off the lens before we can activate this life bridge.
You'll have to find a new home.
All of the light bridges have been activated. And we're going to head back to the museum spire because we need more life crystals. But I want to take one more time here to check out the crystal form in the center. It really is really beautiful at this point. And it's pretty solid. But we've got one more stop at the museum spire. And we're certainly not as crazy addicted to these things as Brink is, so we haven't used any. But we've used them on other things. And so we're going to need life crystals in order to revive the dead alien in the pyramid. Because we did once before, but then he returned to his dead state. We'll need more crystals in order to do that again. I think 4 should be enough. So now we're going to head up to the tomb spire, because we are going to try to revive our alien friend. We've certainly come a long way from our early arrival on this world. With the light bridges and solving the puzzles, and now we're heading down into the crypt to resurrect a dead alien race. Not exactly what I'm sure the astronauts expected when they headed up to the asteroid to protect the Earth from certain destruction. right, let's bring this alien back to life now that we have somebody here who can translate the language and actually speak to it.
Here's where my alien education either pays off or we die.
Die?
As long as I don't accidentally offend him, we'll be okay.
Aklash Park.
He says, open your mouth, which is their way of saying speak.
You do the talking, Maggie, so you can understand each other.
Speak.
The machine in your laboratory, what does it do?
Where the lights all shine, it opens the eye.
The eye. Does that mean the crystal at the meeting place of the light bridges? The machine generated this eye.
The eye sees into all space and time. And where the eye sees, the mind can fly.
Was this eye the doorway into the place where your people went?
A door that can be crossed only one way.
You don't know that. If someone has a strong enough tie to reality...
Do you think you are stronger than all my people? Even they, the strongest race known, could not overcome the temptation before it was too late.
If we bring your people back to this world, then they can build a starship to take us home to Earth. It's our only chance. Maybe we'll fail, but you must let us try.
Since you think you are stronger and wiser than my people, I will let you have the fruit of your pride. I will tell you how to find the piece I hid, if you know how to ask. But it will cost you more than you ever imagined.
So...
Please, don't play any more games with us. Where is the missing piece?
You cannot understand what will begin if you activate the eye. You cannot bear to pay what it will cost you.
Yes, you've warned us. Now where is the piece?
Go to the map with this message and see what it shows you.
So there is a new rod on the
Thank
ground.
you for helping us.
I will only have helped you when you give up your foolish plan.
We're not giving up.
My only consolation is that true death comes closer with each dying.
Good job of translating, Maggie.
He speaks very slowly and clearly, but I'm also pretty damn good. Are you sure we want to leave? He's loaded with information we might need.
Yeah, I think we're ready to leave. So we've got a new engraving. The creator's engraving. So we've got to head back to... He told us to go to the map spire. The Cocytans' technology outpaced their social development. So they created technologies that they just weren't ready to adopt. And the temptations of stuff like the life crystals really destroyed them. And so that's what the creator is talking about and warning them, because he's worried about these humans taking this technology back to their own world and destroying themselves. So now we're going to do one last viewing. So we're already good there. see what it shows us. The beach.
So that's where the part is.
Assuming he gave us the right code.
I think at this point, Maggie, he gave us the right code. The Cositans have reached a point in their development where they're going to try to stop people from taking on some of these technological advancements, but there's only a point. They're only going to go so far. Eventually, it's just going to be, hey, if you want to try it, it's your funeral. You can destroy yourself if you would like.
This place is as creepy as the forest behind my house when I was a kid.
Yeah, I'm sure Maggie doesn't like being back in this room. Let's go to the beach.
Maggie, come on across.
So the eye part is right here.
I wish I knew what's going to happen when I get this piece back in place.
Now with that, we have the last piece we need to start the machine. So we're going to head back to the cathedral spire and put the part into the machine and see what happens.
Where have you been?
Where have we been?
I need your crystals. All of them. Right now!
Come on, Brink. How many crystals can one man use?
Not for me, you fools. I need them for my machine. For science. Research. Give them to me!
Machine? What are you talking about?
I'm through talking! I'm not going to let anybody stand between me and the greatest scientific achievement in history!
I only have these few crystals left, Brink, but I'll be glad to share some of them if you want.
All of them! You didn't share anything, Lo. I took them! And it's a good thing you didn't fight me. I would have killed you to get these.
You would have tried.
Ooh.
You two will be nothing but a footnote in the annals of my achievements.
He didn't damage the machine part, did he?
No. He's just an addict that's on the verge of collapse. Let's start the machine.
It fits, but the machine still doesn't work.
Yeah,
Did the alien lie to us, or does the machine need something else?
It needs life crystals.
Looks like a life crystal would fit perfectly in here.
So unfortunately, Brink took our crystals. So we've got the part, and now we've got to go get life crystals. So glad we don't have to use the tram system anymore, because this would take much longer having to wait on a hamster ball. Remember, there are crystals down this pathway, so this is probably the fastest way for us to get what we need.
Get away from here! I won't let you break my life crystal machine!
We don't want to break anything.
My machine isn't working yet. Yes, gloat if you want to. I've studied all the inscriptions. Maggie's not the only one who can decipher strange languages. I followed the plans I found, but there's still something missing, and without it the machine won't work. So if you think you can steal my life crystals again, Commander Lowe,
I messed up again.
Think again. I'll kill you first, and believe me, no one will ever revive you.
Actually, you robbed me twice, and I only robbed you once. So you're still one ahead.
Don't joke with me!
Don't joke with him, Boston.
So we've got to go back to the cathedral spire one more time, because I should not have... I don't think I should put the eye piece into the machine yet. We need that to help with the relic machine. You know, in a standard playthrough, if I was really trying to show this like a perfect playthrough, you know, I would either cut or re-record that. But this is really what it was like playing the dig. Just when you think you've got it all together, you realize you did something wrong and you've got to go back. And trust me, there were many, many, many times that I ventured down to the waterfront to do the stupid turtle puzzle. We should have taken the eye part with us, because we need that for Brink's machine.
I guess I'll take this with me.
Yep, because we still need it. So, we're not quite done yet. I really like the Life Crystal storyline because it shows the dangers that, you know, it's an advanced technology. It's something that would be wonderful. The idea to crack open a crystal and bring someone back to life. But what's it worth? Is the cost really worth it? I think it's safe to say Brink is better off dead because he's an absolute monster at this point. He's willing to kill people to get his fix. And whatever machine he's working on, it could be very dangerous. I think it's pretty clear now that the Poseidons, the ghost that appeared over the Life Crystal pool, they were there to warn us. They were not there promoting the benefits of Life Crystal usage. Let's see how this works.
What are you doing here? I have no need for your help. I don't want that. It's just another artifact.
Brink, this is important. I think I know what piece is missing from your machine.
How can you know anything about this? You're not a scientist. You're just a strutting tin soldier.
I think it's the same piece that the eye generator needed. I think it's the key to all this technology. The alien inventor hid it because without it, none of the machines he considers dangerous will work.
Why would the creator of life crystals think they were dangerous?
Because the crystals make you feel so good that they take over your life. All you care about is getting more of them. He said it was the second worst mistake he'd made.
And the worst mistake?
The eye.
So you and Maggie, you keep telling me I'm crazy. But you plan to make an even worse mistake.
I'll make you a deal, Brink.
Yes, like the deal you made before. I keep my part, but you go back on it.
I didn't go back on it. I just wanted to talk about it with you first.
No deals with liars and thieves.
Brink, you need what I had to make your machine work. But if it works, then you'll have plenty of life crystals, right? You could share them with us and it wouldn't cost you anything, right?
If you have the missing part, yes.
That's my deal. Your machine, my part. 50-50 on the life crystals.
I know you plan to cheat me.
We won't even come near the machine when it's running. You divide up the life crystals.
Then what's to stop me from keeping them all?
Because I am trained as a military man, Brink. And if I ever actually decide to fight you, I don't care how strong and healthy you are. You will lose.
Ooh.
And then I will take them all. Got it?
Get your missing part and put it in my machine. Even liars and thieves can bargain as long as they watch each other very carefully.
Like Boston's matter of fact, I am trained in military tactics. You will lose.
It fits perfectly. This is how the aliens designed the life crystal machine to work.
Nothing's happening.
Yes, it is. It's vibrating. Be patient. Who knows how fast it's supposed to work? We'll just have to wait.
Suits me fine. We'll split them 50-50, right?
Of course.
50-50. Look, there's one. And another.
2.
Is that all? Just 2? I need more than 2.
I don't know about that, Brink, but it's a sure thing I need more than 1. You still have all the crystals you stole from me and every other place on these islands.
Ooh.
Don't touch them!
50-50, you said, Brink. Well, you must have hundreds of life crystals. It's not even 50-50 if I take these 2.
I knew you were a liar and a cheat.
You weren't gonna let me have even one of these.
I'll make the machine even better. It will produce more.
Not till we're gone, it won't. I need that machine part to run the eye generator.
You will take nothing from this machine, you lying thief!
Once the eye is working, you can either come back with us to Earth, or you can stay here, take the part out of the eye generator and put it back in your own machine. Just have a little patience.
Here we go.
No! My machine is stopping! You've wrecked my machine! You're a dead man!
Brink, please. We don't have to fight. You can have the part back after we're done with it.
Everything you say is a lie!
Maggie, tell him.
If you say a word, Maggie, I'll kill you too!
Brink, don't make me hurt you.
You won't hurt me when you're dead!
And Brink is finally gone.
Oh, Maggie, please believe me. I didn't want to hurt him. I didn't want him dead.
It wasn't Brink who died here. Brink died when he fell down the hole when we first arrived.
Agreed.
What just fell over the cliff was someone else. Someone alien. Created by those death crystals.
Maggie, are we making an even worse mistake by activating the eye?
Staying in this world any longer than we have to. That's the worst mistake we could make. We've got to do anything we can to survive.
But what if we die trying?
Don't you get it, Boston? This place is worse than death. I'd rather die than stay here.
I mean, it's pretty. I'm glad she finally said it. They are death crystals. That's the true name of them. They were probably called life crystals at some point, even by the Poseidons, but once the side effects became known, the Poseidons do not approve of their use and creation. Now we're going to head back to the cathedral spire for one last run and activate the machine and see what happens. So let's go ahead and put the eye part
Alien
in.
was right. This thing has already killed one of us, but it's back in place.
And then the life crystals, one here and one here.
The crystals Brink died for.
So we've repaired the alien eye machine. We've lost Brink. And she's right. The real Brink died in the Nexus. It's debatable on whether the life crystals actually brought him back to life or possessed him with some hollowed out shell of existence. But
Robbins. You're the one who read the alien books. What exactly happens when we turn it on with enough life crystals in it?
It would have taken me years to read everything, Boston, and I didn't understand half of what I read. But there's no doubt that this machine is dangerous. The alien warned us it might cost us more than we expected.
What does that mean?
It might mean that just turning on the machine might kill us.
You mean he booby-trapped the thing?
I mean that the machine may draw on more than life crystals. It may drain the life out of whoever uses it.
Then I'm running the controls.
Don't be absurd. It might do nothing, too. Or it could kill whoever isn't at the controls. I just want to tell you.
No goodbyes. We're gonna make it home together, Maggie.
I'm not sentimental, Boston. I wasn't going to say goodbye. I just want you to promise me something.
After you saw me break every promise I made to Brink, you want me to make another one to you?
What happened with Brink couldn't be helped, Boston. I know you'll keep your word with me.
What's the promise?
If I die, and you live, don't use any life crystals on me. Don't revive me. Do you understand?
Are you sure?
I saw what Brink became. I don't want that to happen to me. You wouldn't be saving Maggie Robbins. You'd be creating a monster with my memories, my face. Don't do it. Promise me.
I promise, Maggie. And vice versa, okay?
All right.
And now you tell me the truth about something, Maggie. Are you sure you didn't find out somewhere that something bad happens to the person at the controls of this machine?
Boston, I don't know any more than you do about what will happen when I switch this thing on.
If that's a lie, I'm gonna be really ticked off, Maggie.
Yeah, I know.
And we will uphold our promise.
Here we go.
No more using the life crystals, even if there's an opportunity that presents itself.
It's stuck. I'll have to pry it open.
Be careful. Maggie! Maggie, you liar! You knew this would happen.
The eye.
It worked. The eye is restored.
Worth it then. Go home.
Maggie.
So we've lost Brink and Maggie. We're not going to use a life crystal on her. We promised that. And we've seen what they do. She wouldn't want to come back. Bad dog. Bad dog.
I should have known the inventor would have one more trick up his sleeve.
But we've learned a few things.
That was the inventor's last chance to stop me. I will get out into Space-Time 6. I will bring the people of this place back home, and they will build me a starship that will take me back to Earth. I guess this is the real test. Can a practical guy from Earth do what all the builders of this place failed to do? Can I go into Space-Time 6 and still find my way back to reality? Only one way to find out.
And this is what it has all been working up to. This is the finale. Let's see what happens.
It's beautiful. A guy could get lost here real easy. No, I'm not going any farther into this place. I'm staying here, where I can get back out again.
You are as strong as we hoped, human.
I can understand you.
In Space-Time 6, all living minds communicate perfectly. You stand at the doorway, human. You show us all the pathway back to life, to reality, to a place where we will someday die, yes, but we will have a life before we die.
every past and future. I can see them all, but which one is real?
Go back now, human. Take me home. My people have their bodies, their bones, their lives again. We owe you a great debt, Commander Lowe.
All I want, now that my friends are dead, is to go back to Earth and tell the story of how they died.
Why not let them tell their own story?
I wish.
You knew the way home, but I know all the other paths through time and space.
Wait! Don't go back there!
I have brought you a gift.
Maggie! Frank! You're alive again.
We were lost, but this being found us and led us back.
Together
Maggie,
again.
I thought I'd lost you forever.
So you really didn't try to resurrect me with the crystals?
No, I promised you. And besides, what the crystals bring back from death, it wouldn't have been you.
I know, Boston. You kept your word.
Brink looks
And yet,
terrible.
You did find a way to bring me back from death.
It wasn't me, but I'm glad you're here.
And I'm free of the madness of the crystals, too.
You did it, Lo.
No, it was our friend here.
No, the credit belongs to you. We once revered a great inventor because he opened the door to unchanging eternity. But you opened the passageway back into true life.
All I am is a guy who wants to get back home.
Already my people are preparing a great crystal starship to take you there.
But we can come back, can't we?
You and any others who wish to come. You are a young people, strong and full of hope and passion. We have much to teach you, and you have much to share with us as well. There will be friendship between our species forever.
I hope you're right. Not all human beings are as, nice as us.
Oh, I know that. All young species are alike that way. But don't worry. If any of your people try to pick a fight, you'll mash them like bugs.
How reassuring.
The ship is almost ready. Go home and tell your people what has been accomplished here.
Telling the people, that's Maggie's job.
And getting us home, that was yours. You did it, Boston.
Thank you, Boston.
We all thank you, Boston Lowe.
Good job, Boston. And here we go. We did it. Thank you, everyone, for joining me and watching and experiencing The Dig. Yes, this game was written and somewhat produced by Orson Scott Card and Steven Spielberg. Thank you again for joining me on Cositus for the adventure of Boston Lowe, Maggie Robbins, and Ludger Brink. Be well.